bets in for the primetime game, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Is our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and to deliver those winners our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us is Chris Ruffolo. Got Wednesdays with Mitch. Of course, Dana Layton will sign in a little later at the bottom of the hour. Big Al McMordie, Ninos, and Rod Zawacky. Here's how the lineup for this evening. We've got this evening Ruffolo, Mitch, McMordie, Ninos, Zawacky, Lane, and then I will close this one out. All right, we got game one of the Eastern Conference Finals and a handful of games from Major League Baseball in the primetime. Eastern Conference Finals from NHL begin tomorrow. But let's get this one underway. Let's welcome in Chris Ruffolo. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring him in right now. Hope you catch him every day here at 10 a.m. Eastern Time with that morning show as he joins Mitch and Rod. Also catch the video series with that Puck Dogs video series with those NHL picks. We'll bring Chris in right now. I think we're ready to roll here with Chris. Chris, what's happening?
Antonio, another day, just living the dream. He said, I can't believe we're so close to the end of the NHL and even the NBA season already. We've only got, I think it's max 21 games left in each. But, yeah, it's been a blur. Now we focus on baseball.
Now we focus on baseball, and then, of course, I know a lot of college football schedules are coming out right now. We get to know the games in the first week, Labor Day weekend. There's a lot of people getting excited about that now.
Yeah, that future win totals. No, not everybody's big on futures, but we see win totals out there now. Yeah,
well, what do you think about Deion Sanders? The Colorado just a win total of 3.
I mean, personally, maybe it's a bit of a square play to take the over on that, just because I think there is going to be a bit of a culture change. But I want to see how the next maybe couple weeks go to see if guys end up leaving. I think he's bringing in a ton of allure to that program. But I think it's a process. I think that's going to be at least a 2-3 year turnaround for Colorado. I think it's more than just.
All right, Chris, we're going to test you. Which 2 new teams are entering the FBS this year, and which one going in next year in college football?
Oh boy, I haven't looked into that yet. Oh boy. I was going to say I couldn't tell you right off.
I know Bellarmine. Bellarmine is in 2024 coming in. And when I asked you the question, I looked it up last year. I saw it was Sam Houston State is one of them. And boy, the third one escapes me right now. Oh my God, how did I forget this one? I read it yesterday.
It's not like a North. It's not a North Dakota State.
None of the Dakota States. No, Bellarmine comes in 2024. Sam Houston State comes in this year with another team. Oh my God, you could look it up if you just do a search. Anyway, we got
Jacksonville State.
Jacksonville State. There we go. Jacksonville State. And Sam Houston State are your new entries into FBS. And next year, Bellarmine was just announced with Bellarmine entering in 2024 right here. So that's more games on the board for us. Well, anyway, here we go. Guardians and White Sox. White Sox here laying minus 134. Total sits at 8.5.
Yeah, and this was, Tony, a game that I kind of went back and forth on, at least early on when I saw the names on the marquee. But then you do a little bit of digging into Peyton Battenfield, who's getting the start for the Guardians here. This dude can't catch a break. The Guardians are 0-5 in his starts this year. Battenfield himself has taken the loss in 4 straight, and it's kind of an eye-opener when you see that he can throw 7 innings of solid 2-run ball against the Minnesota Twins and still find a way to take the loss in that game. And the long and short of it is that, the Cleveland Guardians aren't providing Battenfield with any run support. They lost that game 2-0. Its most recent start against the Detroit Tigers, they lost 5-0. So last time I checked, it's pretty hard to win a game when you're not scoring a ton of runs. And I don't really trust this Cleveland Guardians offense. Even a guy like Mike Clevenger. Clevenger has pitched solid. He hasn't been getting completely blown out. He's had a couple of bad starts this season. But I think this game is a lot closer than maybe one would think. Just how the White Sox have started the year. Since May 1st, the Cleveland Guardians 29th in team OPS and isolated power against right-handed pitching. I don't see the Guardians having a ton of success against Clevenger in this matchup. And, while we talk about how bad the White Sox bullpen has been, if we go back to the beginning of the season, again, since the beginning of May, these two teams are not far off in terms of bullpen ERA. I think once Clevenger hands the ball off, it's not as scary of a task as it once was. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible. And I just think the White Sox are the better team here, the better hitting team, so I'm going to roll with the White Sox in this one.
All right, we got Chris here with the White Sox here at minus the 134, 136, and it's been a big move on this one, Chris, because I remember at the Open, this one was sitting about minus 113, so looks like a lot of folks here on this White Sox bandwagon here. As again, it's Guardians just very frustrating. They just can't, as you mentioned, having a difficult time getting runs up there on the board.
And they have a talented lineup, so there's really no excuse for it. I mean, you've still got guys like Josh Naylor, Jose Ramirez that can slug it. You got some solid contact hitters like, Steven Kwan, Miles Straw in there as well. I have no excuse. And remember, this is a Cleveland Guardians team that made a deep playoff run last year as well. I mean, I know it's only 40 games in, so we're not going to write them off just yet, but they got to pick it up at some point. You can only use the slow start excuse for so long before it gets a bit tiresome. I think the White Sox know they have a hole that they have to dig themselves out of, and I think that you're starting to see a little bit of a sense of urgency from Chicago.
All right, Chris here. White Sox minus 136 here against the Guardians. This one will have a start time here of 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Limited card here from Major League Baseball. As you know, we had a lot of day action. Of course, we've got the NBA Eastern Conference Finals beginning here. Should be an exciting one here between the Heat and the Boston Celtics here. And of course, great results here in NHL. 1,073 units of profit in the NHL, all documented over at Pick Dodge. What do you have going on over at the site?
Oh, 2010, I got my $19 NBA Slam Dunk of the month. I love this play tonight in this Heat and Celtics game. Also got an MLB pickoff play for $24.99. But the best value is going long term. You get all the plays, and we're heading into another loaded weekend of action. So definitely hop aboard at Pick Dogs Premium and join me, and let's make you some money.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Chris Ruffolo over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here from the NHL. So get on board with Chris's $19 premium now on the board. Pick is a promo code. You'll save 15% off at checkout. You can also explore the longer-term passes. 3, 7, or 30 sports pass is the way to roll to get the best value. All right, Chris, as always, great having you on the show. Continue the success. We'll catch up with you next week. But let everybody know they can catch you here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time with that morning show. And of course, that Puck Dogs video series now is getting near the Stanley Cup Finals. Got to watch it.
Yeah, 100%. Got to check out those videos of me and Rod, daily game videos. And we're starting to pick up some steam with the home run prop video that we've been releasing every morning as well. Hit 7 home run props yesterday. It was a fantastic day. Hoping to carry it forward. But the only way to make sure you get the notice is if you hit that the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to be in the know when the new content drops.
That's right. Be the first to get the videos when they drop. And, of course, when you're live, get the shows in real time, get the best numbers. All right, Chris, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Have a good night.
You got it. Chris Ruffolo here on The Drive, too. Let's continue on with coverage. Well, it's Wednesday. Let's go ahead and welcome in Mitch to the show. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring in Mitch ready to roll with Mitch. Mitch, what's happening?
Just living the dream, Tony. Just trying to put it all together. We launched our new sports chat play site, which means that we're 1/10 done with it.
Yeah, it's always a work in progress, right? It's never. There's always development going on somewhere. That's just the way it rolls in our industry, right? The ideas, even though you think you're done, the ideas never stop going through the head.
It kind of wasn't done, and they just launched it anyway, so it makes it a little bit more behind the 8 ball here.
Oh, all right. I remember you used to like that concept, right? Well, just put it up and we'll work as it. We'll get to it as the days move forward, right?
I like that when the project is on time, not 6 months behind. At that point, you
go.
got to make sure it's right.
I know. I can understand the feeling there. All right. Here we go. We're going Major League Baseball tonight with the Braves and Rangers here on the going head to head. We see the Braves big favorites here, minus 142, total 7.5.
Yeah, I just not a lot on the board tonight that I don't either have a premium pick or one of the other handicappers didn't pick. So just not a lot there that I loved. So that's why I decided to go with the Braves in this one. I just love fading Nathan Eovaldi. I have for his entire career. He's one of those guys that throws the ball extremely hard. And those guys, when they start to wear down, they're extremely susceptible. Their velocity starts to tail off, usually 4th, 5th inning. And all of a sudden, second time through the batting order, the ball gets really straight, and it doesn't have the heat that it had in the 1st and 2nd inning. And, man, you got a team that can hit the ball like the Braves. Bad news. I'll tell you what, man. If you're going to this game tonight, you're going to want to pack a snack because you're probably going to be at the stadium for a very long time. And I don't think it's going to be the Rangers scoring many runs off the mustache. I think it's going to be all Braves in this one.
All right, Mitch says take the Braves here. Minus 143 here against this Texas Rangers team, and of course this young man on the mound here, Spencer Strider, impressive here. We thought the strikeout rates at 30%. Now we're getting a kid here getting above 40% strikeout rates.
Yeah, it's just, every year, every time we see the game get elevated. But to me, beyond these individual and short-term statistical things, to me, it's usually the guys that have the big-time longevity that, are the best in my book.
Yeah, because we get down to the postseason, that's when you got to bring it, no doubt here. Mitch here on the Braves, minus 143 here against the Rangers. Like we always like to do with Mitch, to kind of go over some of the baseball that we saw earlier this afternoon. Okay, Mitch, we got to start here with the Pirates. Everybody was on Eduardo, right? Everybody was on that train. It goes crash and burns here. Some issues there with that double play ball. 8-0 Pirates with the win.
I got an email from a customer this morning, who was telling me how easy money that the Tigers were going to be today, and first 5 innings and all this kind of other stuff. And I basically said to him, I said, I think you're a little late in the cycle for this one. The betting tools like the Tigers as well, because that streak that they had that the Pirates had going against American League teams. But even that, it's just too late in the cycle. I love the Tigers yesterday. Today they were a big pass for me, and I could see it early. Rich Hill is doing exactly what Rich Hill is supposed to be doing. It's like he's a veteran. He's not going to be Jacob deGrom on his best day. He's not going to be that. The expectation shouldn't be that. He shouldn't be compared to that. But what Rich Hill should be is a guy who's going to give you quality starts, keep you in 2 to 3 run games, where he scores 3-3, 2-2 type games into the 6th inning. That's what he's supposed to do. If he can do better than that for you, fantastic. And it's Rich Hill, he's going to have some days where he's going to do worse than that for you. But overall, 3 runs through 5-6 innings, 2 runs through 5-6 innings. Rich Hill has done his job. And, 2 runs through 5 innings is about a 3.5 ERA for those keeping score at home. 3.5 to 4 ERA at those numbers that I'm talking. And that's all you're really looking for, is about a 4 ERA from this guy. Yep. So, I think the Pirates, if they can get Rich Hill to continue down this road and have more starts like this than the blow-up starts, come the trade deadline, he's the type of guy that other teams will be looking for. They're not going to get a Derek Jeter for him, but they might get some guy that they have their eye on in someone's organization who might be slipping through the cracks, who might be able to contribute and become a pretty good ball player. And I mean, that's what it's all about.
All right, Pirates 8-0. Of course, Twins and Dodgers. Big 8th inning there for the Dodgers. Outman with the grand slam as they tied it 3-3. Then they win 7-3 in that Outman grand slam. Dodgers getting the Minnesota late in this one.
Little frustration after last night's game for the Dodgers. Had some opportunities, let them off the hook. Mookie Betts got absolutely plunked in this one. I mean, he got just drilled. It was like a steroid abuser hit that he took, type beaning. I mean, square in the back. And normally those are reserved for Ryan Braun used to get hit like that. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what Mookie said or did or anything like that, or if one clearly did get away from him. But I'm going to say that if I'm on the Twins, I'd probably be a little bit nervous the next time you play the Dodgers.
Yep, and they play every year now. They play every year. So this next one will be in Minnesota. All right, Reds and Rockies. The Rockies get the win, high scoring here, 11-6.
The Rockies are an interesting thing, and I've been noticing this on them. And if you've been watching my videos, which I know all of you do every day, and listen and hedge on my every word, I'm just kidding. But the thing is about the Rockies is that when they have a 5-8, 5-9, 5-12 home record, they're good at bet at home because they always have a winning home record. So it's like you might not win them all, but you're going to get there. And if you can get those home wins as low odds like you did here, or as a dog, or as a run line favorite at 1.5 times your money, Yahtzee. And that is just a bonus all the way because the Rockies will have a winning record at home this season. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, they usually do. Rockies with the win. Diamondbacks 3-3 in the top of the 9th here. The Athletics, we got some good pitching here tonight, for this afternoon from both sides with D-backs. Of course, D-backs closing at minus 141.
Oakland A's are a special team, and we got to really keep our eyes on this team because they're starting to put things together as an organization and have a game plan and have a direction. So now that they have a game plan and direction as an organization, instead of having to wonder where they're going to be playing their games and, what stadium deal and all this other stuff. Now they know exactly what direction they're headed. They can put all that stuff to the side, and they can think about at least getting some pieces together to start building a team again. And I think with the A's, we might be able to get enough value on them, which if you're horrible at picking baseball, I never win, I only win 30% of the time. Pick a team like the A's. You hit, they're going to win 30% of the time. If you bet them every single game, you throw out a couple of bad spots for them, you're going to make money. Done
right.
It, because they are going to start winning some games. They're not going to lose 140 games.
No, they're not. This one in progress right now. Phillies and Giants tied. Well, the Giants threatening here with 2 on and none out here in a 4-4 tie, bottom 8th.
All right,
and
so
the bases loaded down. Bases loaded down.
The Phillies have come on this season earlier than they did last year. Since Bryce Harper's gotten back into the lineup, they're definitely winning some games. Same thing with the Yankees and Judge, right? There's Judge is back in. The Yankees all of a sudden are winning games again. Not a coincidence, right? Harper's that type of player. He does make everybody at least somewhat better on the team. The thing is that the Giants, even with the losing record, they're a better team than that record shows. They're one of those teams that is a better team than that. The thing about the Giants is they have a bunch of really good hitters in that lineup. Basically, if you look at the Mets and the way that the Mets are hitting right now, the reason the Mets are hitting the way that they are is because all the guys on their team that can hit the baseball are all on the Giants. You look at this Giants lineup and the top 5 hitters are all Mets, right? So it's that's what they have. They missed out on Correa. They missed out on Aaron Judge. They replaced those guys with nobody. So it's like, it's kind of like the Dallas Mavericks when they lost out on DeAndre Jordan. You kind of got to figure it out from that point. The Giants, I have a feeling, whether they're contenders or not contenders, is at the trade deadline. They're going to go after some big names, and I believe it's going to be more than one.
Bases loaded, no out, bottom 8th with the Giants at the plate here, looking to go up here with Soto on the mound, looking wild here. And of course, there looks like we got the home plate out. So 1 out, bases loaded on the home plate out. Grounder to second base. All right, Mitch, Royals and Padres. Padres getting a little closer here. 4-3 Royals. Again, a big dog up on the Padres.
I'm going to say something that I haven't said since 2 years ago, and that's the Padres suck. This team absolutely blows chunks, and maybe they'll improve, and maybe they won't. But I think fading the Padres has been money, and money this season. This team is so overrated and so overbet that it's just horrible. And, when we look at the profitable teams on the betting tools, this is really how you just, can really zero in on these teams. We have it now separated out by sport, so you don't have to go in and land on, just everybody all together. You go in exactly by sport, and it looks at the last 30 days. It initially lands on the, on the run line, but if you go by the, go down to the money line and just put in like the last 7 days, and you can just scroll right to the bottom of the list, and you don't have to do it. I didn't even have to look. Last place, 30th most profitable team this week, San Diego Padres. If you bet $10 a game, you're down $55.80. Congratulations for your hard work. Yep. Guess who's second to last this week if you're not looking at it?
Oh, goodness. The Cardinals had a horrible start, and they're always good numbers, but I think they've been catching up.
Just this past 7 days.
Last 7 days.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Last 7 days. Who do you think's second
the Pirates. The Pirates have been losing every night just about.
It's the Atlanta Braves.
Braves, okay.
The Braves. If you bet $10 on the Braves money line every game this week, you've lost $44.10. Wow. Yeah, it's of the betting tools, the ones that I talk about the most are my 7 free picks, and also on the a lot of people love the prop betting tools, but really there's this profitable team betting tool will really change your opinion that the team that's actually won the most money this week is the Dodgers.
Yep.
And the Yankees. This is the Al Ninos parlay right there. Dodgers, Yankees, defending World Series champion Astros. Ninos.
There you go. Giants push one across here on a base hit, but there's 2 outs now. Bases loaded. 5-4 Giants on the Phillies bottom 8th with 2 outs.
Arizona putting 2 across as well.
Yeah, Arizona putting 2 across as well. So we're seeing actually the Giants adding more to this lead here. Looks like they got a 2-run base hit, 7-4 now. Giants getting to the Soto, the lefty, for the Phillies now 7-4 in this one. All right, Mitch.
11 hits for the Giants in this one. See, it's all these Mets guys.
Yep. They're getting it done. All right, Mitch, want everybody know what's going on over at Pick Dog Sports Chat Place here. We're in May. We got baseball here on the docket here. Of course, we're getting the NBA Finals. Then, of course, NHL Eastern Conference Finals as well. What's happening over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat?
I just can't even begin to tell you guys what's even going on because there's so much. I'm just dizzy from the way that I spend my day. Sports Chat Place has undergone a full redesign, but the redesign is not complete. So what you see isn't exactly what you're going to get, but what you see is 100 times better than what you were getting there. So Sports Chat Place has always been the leader when it comes to free picks. It was the first site to ever give out free picks on every game every single day. All the other sites out there are just copies of it or iterations of it, as they say. And, we plan on becoming the leader once again. We've made some internal moves to concentrate on that. As you guys know, I've been focusing my efforts on Pick Dogs the last 2 years primarily. So Sports Chat has kind of been out there running itself, but now we have people in there to run Sports Chat, and we're really excited about everything that's going on there. I have a lot of new partners and a lot of new opportunities that we're going to be having over at Pick Dogs and SportsChatPlace.com. We're growing. It doesn't mean I'm hiring more handicappers. It means that we're growing as a company, so we're going to have opportunities for people that have a specific skill set. I get an email a day, or even worse, a Twitter direct message or Instagram direct message saying, you should hire me. That's the whole message. You need to tell me what you do, and if you have a specific skill set or experience in the industry or experience on the internet as far as like social media or any of those sort of things, yeah, we're always looking for people because we are really growing fast. We've gone through 2 years of basically rebuilding the company while I built Pick Dogs and we rebuilt Sports Chat. But right now we're in a full growth phase. And, right now we're poised to position to really do some amazing things. And I'm expecting our biggest year that we ever had 3 to 4 times over. So Wager Talk, Doc Sports, any of those other guys, the guys I'm legally not allowed to mention all of them, you guys can all go screw yourself because you're going to jump off a building when you see our numbers.
There you go, from Mitch here of Pick Dogs and Sports Chat. All right,
Other
Mitch.
than that, I love them all.
You love them all. That's right. That's right. Love them all. Wish them the best.
Except the ones that I hate. What I don't understand is Wager Talk's got some guy, and I know like Al McMordie probably loves this, even though he refuses to badmouth anybody. They got a guy who gives out like 35 picks a day, yet he's doing a series on bankroll management. I love it. It's like, you can't give out 35 picks a day and have a series on bankroll management. I'm sorry. 5%, like the 2% to 5% giving out 35 picks a day, you can't have 147% of your bankroll. I'm sorry. Doesn't work that way.
Yep.
I wish it did. Oh, by the way, go Heat, money line, baby.
There you go.
Jimmy Buckets, playoff Jimmy. I'm telling you, it's a Miami playoff season.
There was a sports book around about 3 hours ago. The entire world was at 8.5, and this one sports book was at 7.5, and begging for Boston money, so you know their position on that game. Just so you know.
Was it Bet Chris Pinnacle?
Well, it was Bet Online. Bet Online.
Westgate Circa
Bet Online.
or
Bet on. It's an individual owner there, I believe, for that one.
They're usually early.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they took a position.
I got some stuff to read, to work. I've been working on my set. It's always a work in progress. I found my turtle picture.
There you go.
The Claude Lemieux turtle picture.
Yeah.
Very famous. Where he's Claude Lemieux doing the turtle on the ice. I'll have to find a spot for it up here somewhere.
That's right. You'll find that indeed.
All right, we got Muhammad Ali with the Beatles. Very famous.
Nice. Yeah. I like to see. You got to get that picture with Freddie Blassie and Muhammad Ali. That's a classic picture somewhere.
Oh, that is a classic. I bet you I can get it.
Yeah.
If anyone out there has it, email me.
You got it. Some of the best mic spots from ever. He taught him. Muhammad Ali said he just copied Freddie Blassie. That's what he did.
I think the Jerry Lawler, Andy Kaufman stuff is all good.
That's good as well, no doubt. All right, Mitch, have a great week. We'll catch up next week.
Thanks, Tony.
You got it. Mitch here on the drive-thru. All right, now, guys, let's continue on here on the show. Now it's time for Big Al McMordie. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring in Big Al right now. Big Al, what's happening?
Not much. Just enjoyed the conversation between you and Mitch.
Yeah, it's always great talking with Mitch here. And, of course, Big Al, we're going to be looking at the game here tonight here with this Heat and the Celtics game. We talked about that earlier. Here we've got the Heat here. Dogs here. We got Celtics here laying 8.5, total 213.
Yeah, hopefully Mitch isn't listening because I'm going to lay the points with Boston. I mean, historically, the number 2 seeds have been the best seed in the NBA playoffs. When you take a look at the numbers, at home especially, they're 268 and 184 with 9 pushes ATS going back to 1991. When they're in this price range, when number 2 seeds are at home and price from -6 to -10, which of course is right in the middle of that range. Then the number 2 seeds are 133, 82, and 6 ATS. I like Boston here. Boston historically has done well versus the Heat when the Celtics were playing with double revenge. They've done well versus the Heat when the Heat were off a straight-up win. There's lots of different trends, but primarily I'm going to just take Boston at home, game 1, number 2 seed. They should blow them out.
All right, Big Al says they're going to blow them out. Actually, now it has moved to 8.5.
8.5.
8.5 now has been the move here, and we see it the sharpest books. There's one book in Vegas, the Superbook, still at 8. Everybody else here 8.5 in this one. We did say that Bet Online earlier around 12 o'clock had the only 7.5 there for a while.
It did, but it's actually you caught it at the exact moment because Bet Online was only there for less than a minute.
Yeah, less than a minute.
So they must have got the bet they needed, and then they moved back.
That's what they did. They wanted Boston money. That was an interesting move here. A point difference between them and Pinnacle. I thought it was pretty interesting there around the noon hour. Here, Big Al here on the Celtics laying the 8. What do you make of this Heat team? Do you really consider them like an 8 seed or a 7 seed? The way they, that's kind of tough, right?
I do consider them an 8 seed.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like, for example, they made a mid-season trade. For example, when the Houston Rockets in whatever year that was, when they acquired, Clyde Drexler, and so they go into the playoffs as whatever, a 6 seed, but they're not a 6 seed. It's not one of those situations. I mean, they are an 8 seed. They just happened to pull a huge shocking upset against the Milwaukee Bucks, and then they played, a team that was on their level with the New York Knicks. I mean, but no, they're an 8 seed.
Yep.
They're not a 1. They're not a 1 or a 2 seed.
They're not. And Bet Online. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, and it's not like, I mean, they lose Tyler Hero along the way.
Yeah.
So you've got to give them credit. I mean, it's not like they're an 8 seed. They got a great player in Jimmy Butler, but we'll see.
We'll see how that rolls here. Celtics here lay the 8.5 now here against the Heat. This one have a start time 8:30 over on TNT. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium for tonight's action. Of course, Big Al showing great results in the NBA. We got his NBA play. There may be a total. We'll see if it's a premium side today. Some baseball. Tomorrow the NHL playoffs resume. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, I actually passed on the premiums yesterday for the game 1 between Denver and LA. I'm passing today in the NBA, and I'm going to pass tomorrow in the NBA on the premium side. I just, I'm not going to force anything. But I think I'm 13-1 or 14-1, something like that, my last, 14 or 15 NBA plays. But maybe I'll have something in game 2 of the Boston Miami series, but we'll have to see how today shakes out. I do have a baseball play today. I've got the Preakness Stakes already posted for Saturday, and I've got my USFL game of the month for Sunday. So I've got lots of stuff up at Pick Dogs Premium right now. I'll also have hockey on Friday. So a lot of good things coming up, but no NBA today.
NBA tonight, get up Big Al McMordie over at Pick Dogs. Prim's got a MLB Interleague blowout up there for you right now, as well as his Preakness and USFL game. And since they're buying the plays individually, you may consider the long-term pass. Why don't you try Big Al for that 1 month all sports pass? Cover the remainder of the NBA. Well, pretty much the remainder of the NBA and NHL playoffs here with that 1 month pass. Pick is a promo code. You'll save 15% off at checkout. Also includes all his baseball in there. Triple Crown races Preakness as possibly the Belmont if Big Al is in action, the Belmont. And usually the Belmont does bring a price, but it also bring a lot of invaders.
Yeah. Historically, I've always thought the Preakness has been the easiest of the 3 Triple Crown races to predict. So we'll see if this Saturday's race, holds true. Oh, by the way, did you pay attention? Did you hear the with the draft lottery yesterday? Did you hear how close the Wizards came to getting the number 1 pick?
Wow, no, I did not hear that.
Yeah, so they draw 4 ping pong balls, to get the combination. After they drew the first 3 ping pong balls, there were 11 combinations left, and they started off with the number 1 pick, so that's where they start in the lottery, behind the scenes. And with 11 combinations left before they drew the 4th ball, the Wizards had 6 of the 11 combinations.
Wow.
The Spurs had 1, the Blazers had 1, Houston had 1. I'm not sure who had the other 2. Maybe the Spurs had more than 1. I'm not sure, but I know what 9 out of the 11 were. So that's how close the Wizards came to drawing, that good fortune. If they just had 1 out of if any of those 6 out of the 11 ping pong balls would have gone their way, but they didn't get it.
Yeah, wow. What a difference here. We'll see how the Spurs do here with that first pick of the draft. We know it's going to be. You're excited. Oh, obviously, this is what you wanted, right? It was a tough.
We talked about this. We talked about this on July 1st or whatever last year. After the Murray trade, we talked about, the whole setup that the Spurs were going after Wembanyama. We talked about that 11 months ago. So
yeah.
I've been waiting for this for 11 months.
11 months, okay, yep, and it's going to come. It's going to come true here, and it looks like Pop's going to stay at coach for a while. There was speculation that he might have been exiting, but looks like he's going to be at the job for a while.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? We'll see how that rolls. All right, Big Al, have a great night. We'll catch up again tomorrow.
Thanks. Talk to you tomorrow.
You got it. Big Al McMordie here on the Drive Thru. Guys, you missed the pick. We're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. El Ninos up next here. We'll go over the Skype world, bring him in, catch him over at Pig Dogs, bring him off to a good baseball year this year. We'll bring him in. Of course, yesterday Mitch was mentioned about the Dodgers and Yankees having good fortune here this week. We'll bring him in right now. We know El Ninos likes his starting pitching. I will say that. That is no doubt about that. He loves his starting pitching. Let's bring him in right now. Well, as we get deeper in the games, these pitchers will go deeper. So there's no doubt about that. I think we're ready to roll in the Skype roll with El Ninos. Al, what's happening?
Well, yeah, usually the better pitchers go deeper, and the better teams have better bullpens. So it kind of works out that way. But most of the time, not
most
every
of the
day.
time.
Yeah.
All right, here we go tonight. This one, top of the hour here, Mets and the Rays here. The Mets here favorite here, $1.24. Total sits here at 8.5. With our man Senga on the hill for the Mets.
Yeah, Senga is a guy I was really looking forward to coming into the majors. He was putting up some great numbers out in Japan. Obviously, not quite so great so far in the MLB, but I think he'll figure it out eventually. And not against this team though, because I'm be looking at the Rays here. Spoiler alert. Yeah, not the best pitching matchup for them. Obviously, not their ace going here. Josh Fleming getting the start for the Rays. But he's pitched well against this lineup in the past. Small sample size, but still good numbers there. And the way they've been hitting lately, I think he has another good outing against them. And on the other side, if Senga continues to struggle, he's going to have a long night against this lineup that's been, the Rays as a whole have been the most impressive team this season. So I think it's going to be a rough night for the Mets. We got the better team here in the Rays playing better baseball. They've cooled down a little bit, but still playing better baseball than the Mets. So I'm going with taking the Rays. Small dogs. We're getting a great price on them, so I'll take it.
All right, El Nino says go Rays here, minus 113 here against the Mets. There was some speculation that might have been Taj Bradley in there, but it doesn't look that way. It looks like they're going to go with Fleming here, the lefty. But Senga, Senga's been, actually the numbers have been better at home, where the problem with Senga is that he gets pounded on the road.
Yeah, it's still early in the season for all that, I think. But, it looks like Bradley will be getting the start tomorrow. As I said, I think Senga, he's a much better starter than, much better pitcher than what he's shown so far over in the States. So, I expect some improvement from him. But as I said, just a tough spot for him. And again, don't expect him to get much run support, even though he has a good lineup backing him up. They haven't been hitting well, and again, not going up against the best starter, but I think they struggle again tonight.
They go for a struggle there. El Ninos says a struggle there here for this Mets team. Rays here plus 113 against the Mets. This one to have a start time here of 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, El Ninos, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Pin for tonight's action. Of course, tonight we got the NBA game up on the board. Still some baseball here to go here this afternoon. Tomorrow the NHL resumes here with the Eastern Conference Game 1 finals. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Sorry, was checking the with us. Sorry, saw the units pop up, so I had to double check the score of that Diamondbacks game that they just won, so that's a good one. But yeah, I got still that one obviously off the board, but still got 2 plays in the MLB. You can get them both individually or grab a long-term pass where you'll also find my best bet in the MLB for tomorrow already up there. So I want to get on that early, I think.
Get on early here with El Ninos over at Pick Dodge. 1,023 minutes of private baseball, all document over at the site. Get on board with El Ninos. His plays up there. Of course, the long-term passes will serve you well. We're talking about the long-term passes like that 1 month all sports pass. Get all El Ninos premium plays for 30 days. That's all his baseball. The remainder of the NBA and NHL finals. When you get that 1 month all sports pass, pick as a promo code. You'll save 15% off at checkout. You could also add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. That's even greater value there. All right, Al, it's always great having the show. Continue that success, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Tony. Have a good one.
Al Ninos here on the drive. The guys, if you missed a pick, we'll recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here. Let's bring in Rod Zawacky. Catch him over at Pick Dodge Premium. Good to us on the show. Al, we're bringing Rod. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much. Enjoying this Wednesday. A little smoky here still, so pray to anybody in the fire zone of the 83 active fires in Alberta right now. So be safe.
Be safe out there, indeed. No doubt about that. All right, Rod, we're going to be looking at this one tonight here between the Yankees and the Blue Jays here, going off here at the top of the hour here. The Yankees here favored here at minus 108. We see a total of 8 in this one as we expect Cole to be on the mound here against Bassett.
Yeah, you look at Cole's getting the start for the Yankees on the mound for sure in this one, and 5-0 to start the season with a 2.22 ERA and a 1.04 WHIP. But you look his last 3 starts, he's definitely looked human. He's given up 18 hits, 4 home runs, 9 earned runs, bunch of no decisions in those ones. I think he steps into this one. He loves facing the Blue Jays, and I think he steps up his start here, facing the Jays. We'll be out with no Kiermaier or Vladdy Guerrero in this one for the Jays as well. And you look at Chris Bassett on the mound for the Blue Jays, and you look at him. He's been pitching lights out. He's pitched 16 scoreless innings of work, including his complete game, no runs last time he was out. So I kind of like the under in the first half of this game. I think we got a low-scoring pitchers duel on our hands here. And I think the runs come later on in this game, and without the big bats there for the Jays, with no Guerrero, no Kiermaier in there, they can be tough for the Jays to score some runs here. And you look at the Yankees, off of right-handers, they're hitting 300 over their last 5 games, rolling right along, so I'm not getting in front of that train. You look at the Jays, and they're 2-6 in their last 8 following a loss. They're also 0-8 when their opponent scores 5 runs or more in their previous game, and 0-6 in their last 6 versus the AL East. With the Yankees here to sweep the Blue Jays in this one.
All right, we got Rod here on this Yankees team here to sweep them here. He likes them here at minus 112. Do your shop and get the best numbers here in this one. Yeah, no doubt that Vladdy will be out of the lineup. It's a big bat here for this Blue Jays team. But again, we saw the Yankees. They get the Judge back in there, and boy, what it happens again last year, right? When their big bats are out, they struggle. But when they come back in, they start hitting.
They start hitting, right? They get their bats back in, and the Yankees are starting to rolling right along. I've even seen some memes where it looks like the Yankees are cheating. They're no. If the pitcher tips the pitch and he can read it on you, well, you might want to change the signs up. But that's what the Yankees are doing, looking tough and looking strong. And watch out, looking like they're going on one of those 20-game win streaks and gonna roll right along. I got to go with the Yankees here.
Well, you see how football handles it, right? When the coaches talk, they put their mouth over them, right? They don't complain. They just prevent. Yeah, they just prevent, right? They prevent. Right?
Exactly. Do one of those. Take a little more crosses. Don't make it so obvious.
Yeah, don't make it so obvious.
Change it up. You got to change it up every inning. I would say you might want to change your signs up. We didn't learn from the Houston debacle.
Jeez, that's right, huh? No one wants to say anything about that, right? It's just like you can figure it out. You don't say anything. You just sit there and let it happen, right? They're hit. I'm telling everybody, back in the old days, they would have never got away with it with some of those managers. Sparky Anderson, you had like Weaver, you had Lasorda, all those. They would have sniffed that out in a heartbeat.
Would have sniffed that out quick, yeah. Yeah, for sure they would have sniffed that out and be like, hey, you got to change things up. Let's go, come on. We can't be just giving away the free signs. But like, here, this is what we're going to pay. Here you go.
Yeah, it's just amazing. It just seems amazing to me how this stuff works. All right, Rod, we got you here. We're not going to have you here tomorrow, so you know what's coming up, right? Game one here of the Eastern Conference Final. Panthers here and the Hurricanes. We're seeing Hurricanes favored -140, total 6.
Yeah, for me in this one, I like the under. You look at the both teams. The Panthers have been 5-0 to the under in their last 5 games. The Hurricanes, they're second defensively in the NHL this season, holding teams to under 3 goals a game, and they've continued that in these playoffs, holding teams under plenty. So I like the under 6 here as the best play in this game. I think Carolina it's the home team here, and Carolina at home is one of those hockey teams that places to play that's really tough for the visitor to come into, as they love their hockey in Carolina. Tough spot for the Canes here in this one, but I like the under as the better play. Game 1, a little more feeling up process before they get things going. Take the under 6 in this one.
Under 6 from Rod here. Game 1 tomorrow, 8 Eastern, over on TNT. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, tonight we got that one NBA game on the board, handful from Major League Baseball. What do you have going over at the site?
And over at Pick Dogs Premium tonight, I've got a couple plays. I've got my $20 MLB bookie home run. Love that play in tonight's action. Scoop it up singly. And I also got my NBA slam dunk winner in tonight's NBA game. Love that play. My drop a dime play, you can scoop that up singly. 2 plays I got singly. I got one for long-term subscribers as well. So grab a 3-day, grab a 7-day, grab a 30-day. Want to know start day? We took the Dodgers. We had the Twins yesterday on the show, and I think the Dodgers would bounce back today, and that's what they did. So jump aboard. Continue to make some money.
Is that right, guys? Got on board with Rod Zawacky, that 8th inning, that grand slam by Outman, man. Big hit there. So got on board with Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dogs. Drop a dime plays up there right now. His $20 plays up there. Bookie home run in there as well. Get on board. Of course, the long-term pass with Silvio. You want to try Rod out, get a 7-day pass. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. All right, Rod, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again on Steak Friday. But let everybody know the Puck Dogs video series you've got with you and Chris. Again, as we're winding down here to the conference finals. And, of course, morning show at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, definitely tune in. Like and subscribe. That way you get notified when those Puck Dog videos get released. By me and Chris, love doing those videos. They're just winding down, but definitely can find you some winners over there. So definitely check that out. And tune in 10:30 Eastern. Me, Chris, and Mitch on the morning show. We love doing that show. Enjoy getting some winners and a little time going off the rails. Some days a little more than others, but hey, always good time had by all. So good laughs, good fun. Definitely tune in to us in the morning show.
That's right, morning show, no doubt about that. I don't know if we're gonna have any more of those. I guess if we get a game 7, we might have one of those live look. What do we call those? Look live look-ins or whatever. Live broadcasts. What do we call those?
Live game live look-ins. Like
yeah.
Game watch party.
Watch party. There we go.
A little watch party. That was fun. I didn't mind it. I don't mind those. You find some winners. We were checking the hockey winners and some baseball. We made some good plays and made some good money doing that. So I don't mind it.
All right. Mo says to tell Rod I said hi. So hi from Mo. All right, Rod.
Hey, Mo.
All right. And we'll catch up with you again on Steak Friday.
I hope it's all good with Tony. We'll see you Friday. We'll see everybody else tomorrow morning.
I learned not to say first and last name because there may be some code in there. So I was going to say one first and the last name. There you go. Rod Zawacky here on the drive.
Right, you never know. So
you never know.
Hey, Mo.
Hey, Mo. There you go. Rod Zawacky here on the drive-thru. All right, let's continue on here on the show. Guys, you missed a pick. We're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's welcome in Dana Lane. He's been on a tear over at Pick Dog Shrimp, so let's bring him in right now. Baseball on the dock from Dana. We're ready to go here with Dana Lane. And, of course, Dana, before we get to the game, big news coming out of Las Vegas. We know that they finally made a decision on where the Athletics are going to play.
Yeah, it appears that they're going to play at where the Tropicana Hotel is, and that they will eventually knock that down. But there is some, still some questions, obviously, with this. I know Tropicana employees yesterday got a memo saying that they were going to close between 18 and somewhere between 18 and 24 months. I don't know what that's about. You would think that you would want to get that stadium underway and build as quickly as possible. Now, it is going to be interesting, Tony, because I can't see the A's staying in Oakland for another season. And then, of course, if they were to play here or play somewhere else, and keep in mind, too, it wasn't a long – I mean, it was what, the mid-'90s where the A's actually did play their first 6 home games at Cashman Field against Toronto and Detroit because the Coliseum wasn't ready at that point. So they have played some regular season games here. It'll be interesting if they play at the Las Vegas ballpark, and if they do – that would almost certainly displace the Aviators for at least a couple seasons. But I'm confident they'll figure it out. And listen, if you follow me on Twitter, I go back and forth with the A's fans. And for the people that are diehards about the Athletics, nobody wants to take your team. We would much rather prefer an expansion team over somebody else's team. But the fact of the matter is, I don't care how far you go back in attendance. This franchise has been in the bottom half of attendance every single year, as far as you could scroll back on the ESPN attendance, figures or numbers that they put out. I mean, it's business. This is a business of sports. And if you're not supporting your team, just like Tampa, I just don't understand how Tampa could actually stay in that market for as long as for much longer.
Well, it looks like Nashville's going to make a move, I think, on them. That's the word.
And I think, hey, look, the Sounds have done really well at the AAA level as far as attendance, and a ballpark that is not in a good area in Nashville, and I think that would be a tremendous area as well. And I know, or a city as well, and I know, Quebec, God love them, and Montreal, and Quebec with hockey and Montreal trying to get a team back there. But the same problems still are there in Canada, which is why the NHL hasn't put a team there, and Major League Baseball likely will not either. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. I do know this. If I had one message to send to John Fisher, who is the majority owner of the Oakland A's, the fact of the matter is, do not come here with the intent on bringing Moneyball with you, because this is a town, win or lose. We have 2 major owners in this town that want to win and will spend money to win. Don't come here with a $70-80 million payroll. You at least have to spend league minimum and try to win. And if you don't, you will be. If you don't,
you'll be playing road games. You'll be playing road games in every home game because the visiting fans will flock to see their team. It'll be embarrassment.
Yeah, and Tony, we have this argument all the time too about, they're going to have a team store that's going to have everybody's apparel in it, and it's only going to be, a home game. I've heard this about the NHL too. You will not walk into T-Mobile Arena and be mistaken or confused as to who the home team is. Or who the home team's crowd is. That is a very pro-Vegas crowd. New stadium opens in a city like Vegas, people want to come see it. It's going to take a few years for the NFL because the Raiders are, they play 8 home games. So it's going to take a while to go through the league and everybody to see the stadium. Once it happens, that's going to be a pro Raiders stadium as well. And that's
I saw it here with the Clippers in the sports arena. It took them 30 years, and those fans that were kids in their early teens, they're now in their late 30s and early 40s to support the Clippers. So if the Clippers can survive, anyone can survive. The way I look at it.
That's right.
That's right.
It's exciting. The NBA is. I don't think it's a done deal yet, and I'm always the guy that says, "Let me know when the shovel hits the ground. Then it's a done deal." But it is certainly moving in that direction. I don't know if I want John Fisher to be the owner, but sometimes beggars can't be choosers, and Lord only knows when MLB is going to be ready to expand again.
That's right. All right, here we go. 8 Eastern time tonight. Cubs and Astros. The Astros big favorites here, -166. Smiley against France, and this one total 8.5.
Yeah, I mean it's $1.68 or so right now. It opened up $1.50, $1.65 around town. It's not really a game I always want to get involved in, but I do like where Houston is going, and we know that the Astros have battled injuries, especially in their lineup, especially pitching, actually. But having Altuve out and, of course, Brantley out really has hurt them from a power standpoint. But last series against the Cubs, I thought we saw a little bit come back. I mean, Justin Steele is arguably their top pitcher in Chicago, and boy, they banged him around pretty good. They had 6 doubles in that last game, and you're starting to see a little bit of momentum. And baseball is all about momentum. And of course, they've had tremendous luck against Chicago, and historically anyway. And I can see, especially when Altuve comes back later in the month, you can definitely see this team starting to get on a little bit of a roll and starting to play with confidence. And I like a confident Astros team over Chicago, just because I think top to bottom, especially in the bullpen and especially in the starting pitching, I just think they're a little bit better. But Drew Smyly, I mean, we know how good he's been. Last 5 starts have been absolutely terrific, almost had a no-hitter. But he also faced the Marlins, the Nationals, and the 20 and 23 Padres in that span as well. So let's see when he steps up a little bit against an still an above-average Astros lineup. Smiley's 1-4 with an ERA that's scraping just under 6 in his career against the Astros. So we're going to take Houston, and we're going to lay a little bit of the wood, but it's free pick, and I always try to give you the later game so you can actually go out and wager it.
That's right. So Danny here on the Astros, late -164 here against the Cubs. Cubs now a losing team, 19 and 23. Is this how what they're going to be when we get to the end of the season, or do you see the team improving and making a battle here for at least a wild card spot?
Yeah, no, remember, Tony, we talked about this at the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. I still think they're going to be around that 500 mark. I still like their starting pitching. Bullpen-wise, I don't think they're certainly not on the level of the Astros, but I still think that this is a club that's going to hover around 500, especially, when you have no idea what's going on in this crazy NL Central. And I know that the schedule is not weighted towards the division anymore, but you still do play a good amount of games against teams in the division that absolutely have not been able to, take a hold of that. We thought the Pirates might for a second, but they're just not good enough. And St. Louis, if you told me at the end of the year that we might see the Pirates finish last and St. Louis finish on top, man, that is something that I wouldn't disagree with. I think St. Louis and Milwaukee are probably the cream of the crop when it comes down to the end. But the Chicago Cubs, to me, are going to still hover around that 500 mark, and that will be good enough to catch that season over.
There you go. Look for that season over from Dana Lane. Dana here on the Astros. Lay the -164 against the Cubs. This one to have a start time, 8 Eastern time. All right, Dana, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Spin, where Dana's been on fire in baseball. 1,740 units of profit. MLB document here for this season. Also showing great profit last 30 days, last 7 days, coming off a winning day yesterday. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Well, we're up around 1,900 now, a little bit over 1,900. 2 wins today with the Pirates, plus $1.50. And then we got a winner with the Colorado Rockies, which, you're down 5-0. I kind of chalk that up to a loss, and hopefully we'll get a sweep today with the Angels and Orioles. We got the under there, so we're hopefully looking at a 3-0 day, but definitely a profitable day for everybody that got involved in that 3-pack. And I always encourage everybody. I mean, it's a long season, so buckle up and sit back and get that season pass, because it's less than $100 a month. And everybody that's buying those individual games or the 3-pack or the week, always appreciate it. But get that long-term pass. You don't have to worry about a thing right through the World Series.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Dana Lane over at Pick Dodge Premium. The long-term pass will serve you well. You see the number 17, over 1,900 units of profit now in MLB. That is all documented over at Pick Dodge Premium. Of course, you can get the passes here for tonight, or instead the long-term pass. We talked about that 1-month pass. Get all of Dana's premium plays for 1 month with that 30-day all-sports pass. Included the remainder of the playoffs here from NHL and NBA here. They'll take you into June 16th. We'll get probably done with the finals here from those sports. So great time to get that 1 month all sports pass, 30-day pass, all of baseball, remainder of the playoffs from NHL and NBA. Remember that promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll save 15% off. You can also add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Dana, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Tony, all the best to you. And maybe we'll get some more news on the Oakland A's next week.
Yeah, see, that's right. We'll see maybe the place over by the Rio. We'll figure out what it'll be next week, right? They'll come to some agreement with somebody,
Exactly.
right? The shell game.
Maybe we'll have 3 stadia. I mean, anybody would struggle. Just come to Vegas. We'll build you a stadium. It's
They
fine.
will.
But that Rio site, by the way, I mean, I don't mean to lengthen this, but that Rio site to me would be an ideal site.
Right.
But we also know that this is about land value and having it on the strip, which is why the Raiders stadium was shoehorned with it where it was, despite the fact a mile up the street there's more room than you could ever want. But this is about land value, so they're going to shoehorn it on the strip for sure.
Yeah, that's how it looks like to me, no doubt. Well, they don't go on the other end of the strip, huh? That might be better for an Oakland team. Oakland team might have been better at the end of the strip.
Well, that's funny for you and I. If you've never been here, this is true. I mean, there is nothing better than having it on the other end of the strip next to the Little White Chapel and
The Pawn Stars.
Questionable things going on. And,
right by the Strat. Just right by the Strat.
Yeah, I think they should put it right in the back of the Strat, actually. And don't force anybody to move.
That's right. That might work. Plenty of land over there. They can bulldoze plenty of those no-town motels in right there.
I think it's a great place to put a plasma center, if you're asking me.
That's right, no doubt. All right, Dana, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Okay, man. Have a great week.
Dana Lane here on the drive thru. Guys, you missed a pick. We're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on. Have you guys been out that way? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right, let's continue on here on the retro. Time for my pick, then we get to the recap here. So let's get my pick up here, and then we'll get to the recap. My game starts in about an hour or so. No sweat here. Brewers and Cardinals. Pitching change. All right, yes, we got Liberatore going today. It's not going to be Wainwright. Might work better for us, I think. It's going to work better for us to take the Cardinals here, minus 116 against the Brewers. Looks like they're just pushing back the starters to give them a little bit more rest. That seems to be the case here with Liberatore coming up from the minor. But actually, Liberatore put up some pretty good numbers in the minor leagues. In this, I mean, coming up, we're getting the call up here for this one. So Liberatore is no stranger to Major League Baseball. He's coming in with off a really good start in the minors, and that's the plan here. And also, too, the Brewers have their struggles hitting left-handed pitchers. They have not been very good offensively here. Seeing pitchers from the left side, they're averaging just 3 runs a game, hitting .215 against the lefties. So we'll go here. Cardinals minus 116 here against the Brewers. Cardinals have improved since changing catchers. I guess that helped the pitchers. That helped morale. And we'll take the Cardinals here minus 116. I got a 3-pack over at Pick Dogs from right now. Also, best bet for Major League Baseball. So 4 premium plays for me right now over on the site. So go ahead and get signed up. And that will roll with that. And, of course, remember that you get my longer-term pass, 3, 7, or 30-hour sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Just select when you go to my handicapper page and make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. All right, let's get to the recap now. We started off here with Chris. Chris liked the White Sox minus 136 against Guardians. Mitch was on the Braves minus 143 against the Rangers. Al McMordie had the Celtics minus 8 against the Heat. Ninos Rays plus 113 against the Mets. Rod says Yankees minus 112 against the Blue Jays. Dana on the Astros minus 164 against the Cubs. I'll be on the Cardinals minus 116 against the Brewers. The one I like the most. I like Ninos' play here on the Rays here plus 113. All right, that's going to do it here for this edition of the Drive Thru, guys. Make sure you tune in again tomorrow here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers here from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place, and they'll give it the plays for you in real time. Hey, let's update some of the scores right now. If you missed it, the Pirates got the win 8-0 against the Tigers. Dodgers, that big 8th inning, grand slam by Outman here. They were down 3-2. Big inning there. They win it 7-3 here against the Twins. Reds and Rockies. Rockies 11-zip against the Reds. They were favored in the game. Total goes over 11.5. Diamondbacks cover the game, cover the run line. 2 across in the 9th inning. They win it 5-3. Game stays under here. Again, Athletics 10 straight losses. Whenever they lose the game, they fail to cover the run line 10 straight times. So in their last 10 losses, they have failed to cover the run line. Next up here, Phillies and Giants. Giants hold on 7-4, get the victory here. Held on to that lead here as the Phillies were threatening here. 7-4, the final. Giants get the win. And, of course, Padres and the Royals still in progress. Royals leading 4-3, end of 8. We go to the 9th inning here with the Padres down 1. Big dogs here for the Royals here. Total still sitting under 8.5. And Angels and Orioles, no score here, bottom second. Nationals push 2 across on the Marlins, 2-0 here, top of the second. Yankees and Blue Jays set to start, so all these games now getting ready to start. All right, guys, that's going to do it here for this edition of the Drive-Thru. Tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers here from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. They'll give out all the games for you here in the prime time hour. Limited card tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can get with Mills. Maybe we can do one of those MMA UFC rundowns like we did a few weeks ago on a Thursday card. We'll see if he's up to it. And, of course, remember all the shows here, 10 a.m. Eastern Time begins here with the morning show. You got Mitch, you got Rod, you got Chris. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tool Show, Nerfies as well from Mitch, Rod, Zawacky, and Chris with the Puck Dogs video series here from NHL. A lot of NHL picks. You get that as well. Ron O'Malley with his MLB breakdown. Every pick from the board from Major League Baseball, 15 games there. Of course, we also have Jay's Jam Session. There'll be one again tomorrow, live here at 4 p.m. Eastern Time for Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. Also with the morning drop as well. We got Mike Davis's prize picks. A lot of plays from Mike as well with his first 5 inning plays for you. We got Nick with his Nerfies, Yerfies as well. Mills with his prop picks today. Tons of shows here on the channel, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications, get the plays when they're released to get the best numbers as well. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat today. Shout out there to Thomas Maggio, Blake as well, Mo Harris, Ramon in there as well. Delivery Dude paid a visit to us today over in the chat, and of course also with the Amar. They're out. We got some of the plays there. We talked about that Rays Mets there for you, and of course Delivery Dude in there, Dennis Shaw as well with the fine chat. Appreciate everyone's contributions today for us, and Andy Ellison as well in the chat room. Ricky Patel in there with the congrats to Big Al on the Spurs, and of course Spurs getting that first pick in the draft. All right, that's going to do it for our show today. Let's go ahead and bring in our cappers in. We're going to goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening. We'll catch